So, talking about the book, again, it's a collection of 12 short stories all put together really nicely. It's quite interesting with the characters that you explored in this book. I mean, I could talk about the stories forever because I'm like, oh my God, did you hear this one? I mean, before, like, oh, did you hear that? You know, and you did that flawlessly. So many characters. I mean, from the reluctant wife, pastor wife, or it's called the anointed wife, the wife of a pastor who wouldn't accept that her husband is a cheat. But instead is more bent on saving the legacy of her husband, right? And then of course there's a lover's vendetta, right, of an impotent man who just wouldn't, show. There's so many characters in this book, and very interesting was also Beard Gang, which I absolutely love. But Catfish as well, which is 3 characters. And of course we see Donald Okon and Edikan and Doshima in this book. But when I was looking at it, it had me thinking, how were you able to build these characters for like a debutante, and was it influenced by your acting as well? Because I mean, taking all these characters and acting and doing all of this, was that easy for you to?
Okay, so I'm gonna say something. I know that a lot of people say I give God the glory, and they actually are trying to be. Oh thank God, I'm not trying to be religious. I promise you, from the title to the characters, literally, God helped me. So aside from having people like Chimeka Garrix, Otuke, reading works and all of that, and then because these stories, I know them, but it's not enough to know a story. You have to be able to put it on paper and tell it properly. So I would, sometimes when I get stuck, I will stop. And then I'll take a walk. And just have a quiet time, and then at that point, God just says to me, oh, so this is what you need to say now, and this is what needs to happen. And then he would ask, he'll be like, what are you trying to say with this story? Where are you going with it? So like I said, I'm not trying to be religious, because everybody is going to read this book, non-religious, religious, but I can't lie. Nearly all the men in Lagos are mad. The title I didn't wake up and I'm artistic. No, I remember I was staying in Yaba then in a 1-bedroom apartment. My vision board was on it's not even a 1-bedroom apartment. Why am I saying 1-bedroom apartment? It was a 1-room, so small. But I had a vision board. So I would wake up, because my bed is opposite my vision board. I would wake up and see, I'm going to write a book. Literally on my vision board, or I'm going to be an author and all of that, write many books. And one day I sat down, I was on, because as an actor you don't work regularly. Sometimes you're working, sometimes you're not. And I was in my room, and God just said, why don't you write a book called Nearly All the Men in Lagos Are Mad? Because you've been through that, and a lot of your friends have. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna write that. Then I put it down. I was gonna pitch it to someone, I didn't. Then I left it, and then approached Masobe, submitted, and then Masobe reached out to me, right? So now, you said the anointed wife. Like I said, all the stories, we can relate with it. When you're married to a pastor, you're married to the church. You're married to his calling. That's why it's very heavy to say I want to marry. If you're married to an actor, you're married to his career if he's a superstar. Once you're married to someone that is known, you're married to their career. No matter how much you're like, okay, I want to be independent. And really what happens with all of the stories, as with the case with the anointed wife, is that she had to, I don't want to reveal too much.
Yeah, you can't reveal too much.
But she literally is the church.
Yes.
And she understood the assignment.
Very invested.
Very
in just
invested.
Trying to save this ministry and this legacy.
Yeah. But I don't see. I feel like we will have conversations when people have read the book.
Yeah, absolutely.
Where I can kind of say a lot more about these characters and say stuff that my opinion. Now, as a writer, I'm being objective. As Damilare, I have my own opinions about these characters, but I had to shelf them. So when people read the book, then we can have more in-depth conversations about some of these characters. But yeah, and then of course, I absolutely love Catfish. I love
Catfish so much. Oh my God! So guys, let me just tell you, if you pick up this book and you read it, just know that Catfish it's my favorite. No, I don't. That's not my favorite. I take it back. I knew you was my favorite, but I mean, Catfish is also good. And then Beard Gang. Oh my God, there are so many good stories here. That's literally so good.